Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome to our 18 weeks program, Healthy, Happy and Peaceful Life. And this 18 weeks program, we have been blessed with many occasions. We started with Guru Purnima, Krishna Janmashtami, Ganesh Chaturthi, and Shraddhas are going right now, which we covered last week on this part, how to get the blessing from our ancestors. And during this time, like yesterday was Gandhi Jayanti. So happy Gandhi Jayanti to all of you. And then next week will be Navdurga, Dashera, Diwali, and of course then Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year. So these 4 months actually is the 6 months, but we have a special program for 4 weeks. And today's program is a very special program. How to attain the peace. Not tomorrow, today, now at this moment. So we will be covering what is the supreme peace, what stops us to experience that ultimate power of Supreme, Almighty, and how to attain it. And of course, Bhagavad Gita and favorite 7 steps. And we will cover the 1 step today because we have covered several other steps previously on whole program. And then of course, benefits, action, practice, meditation. But before I start the session, my humble pranam to Swami Hariharji Maharaj, who had asked me to study Gita, write books, and spread the message. And with his blessing, the direction of my life changed. I'm so thankful to him. So thank you, Guruji. Pranam. आपकी सेविका satyakalra. और उनकी वजह से all these books have been a bestseller on Amazon and made me the happiness and self-transformation coach. And with his grace, started the foundation in 2007, pathtoanandam, path to happiness, how to attain the eternal happiness, how to be worry-free, anger-free, stress-free, based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and experiences and speaking to all the good souls. And also this universe has been blessing with all of us to come to this session. So thank you very much for everybody to coming and joining. So peace through what? There are many ways we can experience the peace, but peace through serving God's creation, that is the subject today. Mother Nature, this Maya, Triguni Maya, how to go beyond that. Because peace is not just the highest goal in our life, but that is the basic requirement of our life. So what is the supreme peace? What is Anandam? What is supreme Anandam? Satchit Ananda. the one which is permanent, does not go with our yo-yo game of our emotions. Internally, we are always have that because that's a part of our DNA. So the supreme peace, which is not affected by the external factors like financial situations, day-to-day issues, relationships, our health, environment, politics, coronavirus, we are affected. Let's be honest, but we bounce back sooner than what it used to be. It used to take like sometimes 24 hours, 48 hours, weeks, 2 weeks, years, depending on the situation. And by experiencing the supreme peace through Bhagavad Gita, that time of misery or discontentment or upsetness keeps reducing and reducing and reducing. And this is a sign of our progress. So our true nature, which is in our DNA, is love, peace, anandam. We all have that. It just gets covered with many issues. So we have to uncover it. घूंघट का पट खोलो, ये प्रभु मिलेंगे. So ये हमारा जो घूंघट है, with all the issues, we have to unveil that. We have to bring that beautiful who we are, ourself. So as I always show, please keep a book, write down your issues and write down your thoughts and experiences. This is so important to do that. When I started writing all of my problems, what I wanted to transform, and I want to share that story with you. I made the list of 153 items, that those are the things I want to change about myself. And first I thought, oh my God, what kind of person I am? I have that many deficiencies. But then I said, no, don't worry about it. We learn in MBA that you just take all these issues, group them in the categories, and then work on it. Do a gap analysis. So I did that. I put it in 12 categories and I said, okay, in 1 month, I'm going to correct these issues, in another month this, and in 12 months, I will be a perfect human being. And that was a news to me, because even just taking a one thing out of it, just expressing my gratitude to people, I used to forget. Feeling jealousy, that was a long process. You know, all those things based on Bhagavad Gita. And then finally, I realized I have to be patient with myself. And not only that, the beauty of this is that once you work on the one of your shortcomings, you become so aware of it, other ones also keep reducing and reducing. So you don't have to work on all 153. Then it automatically starts reducing it. So our issues, our disturbances, body related problems, our emotional problems, and of course, our old baggages, carrying our feelings, guilt, hurt, resentments, and then of course, our doubts, fear, stress, worry, concerns. And the biggest one is dissatisfaction. Too many wants and greeds. One desire gets fulfilled, the another one is ready to sprout again. Keep sprouting, sprouting, sprouting. And then my way or highway. Ego, my selfishness, financial relationships, and religious problems. Nowadays, they have become a big one in the world. Environmental problems and politics. And all these things, what happens? It disconnects us from who we are, from supreme power. And this is not just because I give my example, but it's not just my example. I look at it when I talk to many people. It's many people's issues, almost everyone's issues. Everyone has their own stories. So I call it, this is the story of today's common person. And Gita explains it. Barriers to supreme peace. Trividam narkasya dvar vedam. I explain this one all the time because this is my favorite one. That kam kro tatha lobasya tasmat etratyam tajet. We have to leave them, but it's very hard. So I call it, these are the 3 gates to hell. And periodically we enter into those gates. But now with the tools what we have developed, with meditation, with Bhagavad Gita, though we enter into those gates, we come out very fast. So now we know how to take a U-turn to come back. So these 3 gates, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, and of course there are other ones, Dhyato, Vishan, Punsa, these are the other, I call it 5+2 enemies. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mohankar, and of course resentment and jealousy and you name it, worries and fear and all those things are our barriers to experience our ultimate happiness. And of course, you have seen this slide before, but I can't move without showing it because these are the causes and effect of our vishad, disconnection, our physical, mental problems, and how it affects the society. And all these issues create our negativity in our body, negativity in our thoughts. We become sick physically. Toxins are overtaken in our system like it was taken in Arjuna's body at that time when he got disheartened. He could not even stand anymore. He had to sit down and then experience it. Diseases, high blood pressure, cancer, immune deficiency diseases, because our immune system gets weakened by all these issues. And with physical problems, emotional problems, we are very unhappy, we are very disturbed. So where is the peace? It goes out of the window. It becomes a shanti. And these are the good images, you can see it. And sometimes if you look at ourselves in the mirror, when we are upset, we are no different in these situations when we are frustrated. We might admit, we might not admit, but that is a time one should go and look at what is affecting. And these are just the effect on the physical, on our faces, but in our internal body, every cell of the body is getting damaged. So Gita says, who is the unhappy person? Beautifully again, person who is selfish. Who has ego, as all what we discuss, all these limitations makes person very unhappy. So what is the solution? Can everybody hear it? See it? I hope everybody could hear it. So what is the solution? Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita to me is a peace ambassador. It takes us step by step, gives us the guidance to attain eternal happiness, peace, anandam, have a healthy life, healthy relationships, and experience satchitananda. So to me, Gita is pathtoanandam. There are many verses in Bhagavad Gita which explain how to attain the eternal happiness. And it gives us many options. And based on these options, based on these verses, here I actually prepared the summary of it. And based on this, I have selected particular verses for today's session. And we will talk about it, but basically you will be seeing this. It is starting from chapter 7, it's a bhakti yoga, because chapter 1 to 6 is 5 especially is karma yoga, and then 6 is a dhyan yoga, which we have already covered it. And now we are moving toward more how to develop the love and compassion, bhakti yoga, in chapter 7. And of course, based is on how to attain the supreme peace coming from chapter 2. And then these will be the processes. So these are the main verses that I will be speaking about it. All those options and purposes, I have put it, summarized it in 7 steps. That's why this last page of the Bhagavad Gita and my question and God's answer is ultimate summary of Gita. Union with God and self-realization, and union with God when we consider God is separate from us, and it is sakar roop, it's a duality. So how can we merge with God like Mira did? That's where I put a union with God. But the self-realization, the Gyan Marg, where we experience that I am the God, I am the Satchitananda. So basically, whether we are go to the sakar roop, duality or non-duality, ultimately we reach there and experience Satchit Ananda, develop love, peace, and Anandam. They're all summarized in 7 steps based on the mantras and based on my question and God's answers. This question comes to me all the time, that how to attain peace? Where to go and find the peace? What are the processes? And basically, if you look our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, they said there are only 2 ways. Whether we can do it through service, karma yoga, sarva bhut hitarata, serve his creation, or through meditation, pranayam, affirmations, prayers, through Gyan Marg. So and Lord Arjuna actually asked that question to Lord Krishna, that you have told me, sometimes you say follow the Gyan Yoga, sometimes you do the seva. Which one should I follow? And Lord Krishna says, since you live in this world, the selfless action is better than renunciation of the action. Serve my creation. So by serving his creation, serve bhut hitarata. So we can go to temples, we go to gurdwaras, we can do, and we feel very peaceful over there. We go to pilgrimage, we go to Kailash Parvat, we go all those places, Vaishno Devi, you name it. And we feel so peaceful. But can we content that peaceful and carry on for a long time? Or does it just stays in gurdwaras and temples? When we come outside, we don't feel that peace. Or we might feel the peace up to certain point or certain hours or so, but as soon as something happens which does not suit our system, does not match with our wavelength, does not match with our what we want, and we don't get it, then that peace gradually we start losing it. So here, 7 steps to develop the ultimate peace. So the number 1 is to set the goal in life that I want to be peaceful regardless what happens in my life. But then the faith. All these 7 steps will be covered to certain extent, but mostly Karma Yoga, we have already covered it. So I will speak only very small part of it. And the main thing what I would like to speak today, how to serve God through his creation, Prakriti, which is also start from chapter 7. And then chapter 13 also, he talks about his divine Shakti. And then, but now since it is the Bhakti Yoga period, we'll be talking about love and compassion. Through love and compassion, through Bhakti Yoga, how to develop the Bhakti in our heart, how to develop our love in our heart, so then we can serve the creation. So what is Prakriti? Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what is Mother Nature? O Arjuna, know that all beings have evolved from the twofold energy, material and spirit. Material means our body. Whatever we tangibles, whatever we can touch it, we can feel it, that's material world. But the soul, we cannot touch it. Energy, we cannot feel it. Like in food processor or blender or fan, we can feel it, we can touch it, we can see it. But the current which operates is, we cannot feel it unless we turn it on and it start running it. But without current, blender has no meaning. And without blender, so current has no meaning. If there is no blender or no appliances, then current, you can have it current, but you cannot make any use of it. You cannot grind the food just because you have a current. So both body, materialistic world, nature, and energy, they both are needed. Like Jeev and Atma. Only Jiva is body. And with Atma, it is called Jeev Atma. So the whole universe is made with matter and spirit, soul. And it says that is my Apara Shakti. It is part of his Shakti. This is actually Apara Shakti and Parashakti. Parashakti is the complete God. I mean, which we just know a very small part of it. It's Apara Shakti through this creation, but God is way beyond it. So Parashakti is the highest form, but Apara Shakti is a small form, which is we experience in our, of course, we are the smallest of the smallest of the universe, but the universe is made with the Apara Shakti. So everything in the universe is a combination of matter and energy. In physics, we call it mc squared 2. Energy is equal to mc squared 2, and I call it Om is mc squared 2, matter and current. And here you can see I put it Shiv Shakti. Shiv is the matter. Here, without the energy is only Shav. But with the energy, it becomes Shiv. So who is God and where to find God? That question comes all the time. Tell me, where is God? Lord Krishna explains it. He says, if you cannot feel it, you cannot experience it, just consider me. Whatever the essence of this universe, from small matter, small things to hardest things. So essence of the water, radiant in the sun and moon, whatever light, heat in the fire, sound in the ether, fragrance, flower fragrance, our current in our body. He says, I am the source of all this. Not only that, I am the seed of the whole universe. I am mother, father, friend, tumeva mata cha pita. That's what he says. That's what who I am. The wisdom that we have, what I'm speaking, he is speaking through me, through that current. So the brilliance of the brilliance, and he says, I am in the Vedas. I am in the heart of everyone. मैं कण कण में क्षण क्षण में हूँ, which is he calls it Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Now, if he is there, like he says, God is the essence of all, where he says, very good analogy, that matta mart partaram. But here he says, it starts with that, but proktam mai sarva midam proktam sutre mani gana ev. It means I am that soul in the each moti, the necklace, the pulse, keeping this pulse together, keeping this universe together. I am that thread. So God is everywhere and everything is God. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, like as it shows, like the string is going in all the pulse, but if there is no string, सारे मोती बिखर जाते हैं. फैमिली में प्यार नहीं हो, सारी फैमिली बिखर जाती है. This is what the body में current नहीं हो, body becomes dead. If we cannot think properly, our body does not function. Our organs, एक एक मोती जिसको मैं कहती हूँ कि एक एक मोती body को, I call it liver, lungs, they're all the pulse of this body. They all get damaged when the current is not flowing properly. So this current is so important. That's why he says, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. He is everywhere. So how to attain? He says, just feel me. I am omnipresent. Feel me. See me. See me in everyone. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mam pashyati tesham na pashyami sachme na pranashati. Just see me everywhere. Feel in other people. When people love you, do something good for you, just see that divinity flowing from them to you. That is a form of love they are expressing. It's not that love coming from that. The God's message, God's creation is coming through us, through his love. So find that love around you and develop that love within you. Feel him. When we are peaceful, calm, that peace is another name of God. Know God in all. All the Shastras, Vedas, everywhere, every word of Bhagavad Gita is the representation of God. But to know him, we have to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then we can experience him. And he's so powerful. He's everywhere. Certain time we feel very lonely, and all of a sudden, he will send his messengers. He's watching us. So just feel his power. And we all have those experiences. So going from this Maya, this nature to moksha, we have to experience God by serving his creation. That is the message. And then we will feel him. But what is the ultimate path? Lord Krishna says in chapter 12, Shreyo hi jnana abhyasa. Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. Dhyana karma phalas tyaga. Tyaga shanti anantram. So well explained here. Where can you find shanti? And here he's talking about the gyan. The gyan is, dhyan is better than gyan. And we will talk about what kind of gyan we are talking about here, because gyan are two different types. And then from there, here he's mentioning basically ritual practices are considered sometimes the gyan, which we consider. So the knowledge, the wisdom, the gyan, the true gyan is better than just the ritual practices. And of course, meditation, contemplation is even better than just studying the books, Bhagavad Gita. But when we contemplate, that is better than just the reading. It's not a substitute, but it's a part of it. And then by reading, by doing, ultimately, tyaga, 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 tyaga. Gita, 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 tyaga, tyaga, tyaga. That is the ultimate path. Once we learn that, and how we are going to do it, again, serving by his creation. So knowledge is two types. Worldly knowledge, which we all needed, going to medical colleges, going to engineering colleges, going to colleges, studying to make our living and have our profession and feel the content, and also to contribute to the society. We do need to go to school and college to get the study. But one thing is for sure, what we serve, how we make other people feel, that is that feeling what people experience and what we share, that is permanent. How is permanent? But rest is temporary. Like look at the computer. Nowadays, every day new gadgets come. We learn something and then the new app come. The old app doesn't work. We have to learn again. So this is like technology is like a temporary. But what we do with the technology to serve the world, that is permanent. Now the question is, world is temporary. So then everything is temporary. Our connection with God through serving other is permanent. And the difference between this worldly knowledge, what it does to us, it gives us a more greed, more fear, more worries, and sometimes anger. All these worldly things will give us the worldly kam, krodh, lo, moh, ankar, all those things. But when we do it with the spiritual knowledge, when we serve others, love and compassion, and then we can make the decisions. We are not confused. Like what happened to Arjuna? He got very confused. Why? Because he was thinking, relating that only to the worldly matter, that he's going to kill them and then he's get the kingdom and all that. But Lord Krishna says, no, your purpose of life is to serve, serve, serve. You are a Kshatriya, so born you as a Kshatriya, so practice your Kshatriya nature and protect the society. So going to the higher level, improving ourselves, again, as Arjuna served the creation, we have to serve the creation. So worldly knowledge is called, this is for the external world, which is also called science. It is for body, mind, ego, intellect, duality. Me and my God is different. But coming from the true knowledge, gyan, asli gyan jisko kehte hain, wisdom, which is gives us the prasad, which comes from our heart, which comes from our soul. And that is the ultimate knowledge where we experience God. God is all is God. And that knowledge leads us to moksha. So the chapter 7 also is called Gyan Vigyan. Gyan could be worldly knowledge. or what we study, but Vigyan is the true experience. So how can we experience God? Lord Krishna says, Shraddhavan lapte jnanam, tat param sanyam indriya, jnanam labdam param shanti, chiranam digachati. So what is important? Shraddha. Faith is the number one. Without Shraddha, we cannot attain the Gyan. Shraddhavan lapte jnanam. That was a favorite verse of Guruji. Always said it. Shraddhavan lapte jnanam. And if you want Shanti, then have the Gyan. But first you develop the faith. Lord Arjuna has faith in Lord Krishna, and that's why he says that please guide me. I am your disciple. Karpanya dosho pahat swabhava. Then he says, Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanya. So he surrenders it. So faith is very important. And of course, we have to control our senses, because if our mind is disturbed, our whole body is disturbed and we cannot perform our duty. And then how we do it in day-to-day life. We have to have the yogic practices, meditation, yoga, pranayam, and then do our best. But we have to surrender. Ultimately, it comes to surrender. Once we develop, which is so hard, but it's not impossible, we can learn to surrender, जैसे अर्जुन ने किया था. Just live in his consciousness, मीराबाई की तरह. So as Lord Krishna says, that how can you be connected with me? Because we get disconnected when something goes wrong in our life. Then at that time, we cannot think about God. We got so embedded with our issues. And in Gita, he says, Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Initially, he says, Nistray Guno Bhavarjuna. Arjun, you go beyond your limitations. And now he says, Yog Yukto Bhav, live in my consciousness. But how to live in God consciousness? Because we cannot all the time do malas and mantras and bhajans and read Bhagavad Gita. Then again, remember me all the time through serving my creation. Connect yourself with this creation which I have created. And I have given you that. Through that creation, you can uplift yourself. So control your senses. Again, peace in every activity of life, whether we are thinking, whether we are listening, whether we are seeing, whether we are speaking, whether we are doing action, whatever we do, everything, we should make a best use of our senses, our mind, our ears, our eyes, our tongue, our mouth, and our hands. So living in God consciousness lead us to his grace, because we can do all those things, but his grace, without his grace, couldn't do it. Without Guruji's grace, I couldn't do this. And all these gurus who really look for our well-being, they are the truly a messenger of God. If we feel them, we see the divinity in them. We can truly see God in them. So here is an example. And since it is a Gandhi Jayanti, I thought I should take Gandhiji's example here. And we all know what Gandhiji did. With his efforts, of course, without team, he couldn't do it. But with his ahimsa, satyakalra, following the truth, he could succeed in his mission. But all that was, he had only one motive, sarva bhutite rata. पूरे संसार का भला हो, with his selfless action, with love and compassion, with his best abilities, for the benefit of all, not for his personal reasons. And that is also called his art of work, Karma Yoga. So when we want to have a peace, basically remove the I-ness, I and want. Look at, I want peace. Just remove the I want and the peace remains there. So by good examples like Gandhiji, and Gandhiji's examples were followed by Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, and they made the same, they did the similar things, they follow his path. So we can become an activist in our life, to take a one thing in our life that I'm going to do this, to create a more peace for others. And when we create a more peace for others, for the universe, we automatically get it. Sun has his own light, gives to the world, but he himself is sunlight. And all this is developed by love and compassion. So start our day with love, spend our day with love. This is Satya Sai Babaji says, start your day with love, spend your day with love, and end your day with love. So live in mindfulness of love and compassion in every activity. And then without yogic practices, we cannot take care of ourselves. We cannot take care of our body, mind. And that's why this slide goes in almost in all of my presentations. Because with these spiritual practices, we feel more connected, healthy, happy, and we could serve the world. And then, of course, continue to practice, practice, practice. Never give up, though we face into difficulties. So just do our best. Like Bhagavad Gita, it says, Shanai Shanai Upparme. So practice here every day. Have the calendar. This is a master plan calendar, which is have every day, whatever suits you to do. Start your day. Read something good in the motivational for yourself and others. And then do the yogic practices. If you do not have a 60 minutes, do it 5 minutes, but at least start the pattern of your day, because whatever we have the pattern or start our thoughts of the day or activities, first few minutes or first hour of the day, our rest of the day follows. So whatever energy we create in the morning, the rest of the thoughts will follow and the action will follow. And that's why I say energy follows thoughts, thoughts follow energy, and our day is determined based on first hour of our life. And as I say, Shanai Shanai Uppar me Buddhya Grati Grahita, Atma Sanstam Mana Tatva Na Kinchita Pichinte. Live in the Atma Sanstam Mana, live in the consciousness, mindfulness of the supreme power. Nothing else there is to think about. Of course, we have to run our day and have those thoughts, but connected with supreme power. And then at the end of the day, again, evaluate what else can I do here? How can I improve? Because we all like to improve every day. So this is basically, I call it a self-transformation and self-improvement calendar. And then just let go. Sarva dharma paritajye mamikam sharanam. Aham tvam sarpapebhyo mokshashyami ma shuche. So just put our sar, I call it sar under. Sar means ego. Put our ego under his umbrella. Just give it to him. Let him help us to get out of it. And then we feel true love, peace, anandam, and satchit ananda. And the benefit, we have so much, we develop so much peace within. And that peace can ultimately go to the universe through the nations, through our community, through our families, because everybody is affected with it. If we create the peace, family members are also they follow, they get that vibration, so they become a part of your mission. And then the community, like volunteer works, whatever we do, community also does the same thing. We have our own groups, become the activist, like we are here all studying, and then we can't kind of contemplate it, so we get more peace. So whatever hour we generate the peace here, we carry on. And sometimes even family members ask us, what is happening to you? Are you on some kind of drugs or something? Why do you smile all the time? Nothing bothers you? Let it be. Tell them, come on my chariot, like Arjuna and Krishna, and then you will experience the same thing. So bring other people on your chariot too. And then we all achieve the purpose of our life. So being in peace and anandam, and making this world a peaceful and harmonious place to live for all the world, today, tomorrow, and forever. That is my dharma. That is my duty. And that is the purpose of my life. So my every action must lead to peace and harmony for myself and for others. So in summary, practice. Shreyo hi jnana abhyasa, jnana dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phalas tyaga, tyaga shanti anantara. So studying is good, but contemplating dhyana is better than just study. So we should include that. And from jnana, we should also apply that jnana now, practice it by selfless action, serving this universe, Mother Nature, Prakriti, his creation, with the thought, do your best and let it go. Neki kar kuए mein dal. Then we can find the shanti within ourselves. So thank you very much for joining.